Hi, this is Andrew Phillips, the founder and editor-in-chief of EM Coach, and this is going to be the instructor view for EM Coach. We're going to jump into the newest features first. So if you've already experienced EM Coach and seen how to make the most of it, we'll go over that at the end so that people who have not seen that can take a look. But since this is the newest feature, I'm really excited about how this can make your time, facilitate your ability to keep up with residents and with students and to be able to make the most of your EM Coach subscription in terms of keeping up with their status, giving you assignments, and being able to look at your residency or your clerkship as a whole. So I went ahead and logged in. You'll see that when you log in now, you go right into program stats. We still have our group stats over here, which is pretty standard, and you can do an analysis by PGY1, PGY2, etc. But the focus is going to be on individual stats. And the idea here is that it's an interactive chart that you can make interventions directly inside of the table. It's not a passive view. So up at the top here, you can make your customized individual stats. Your mean score year to date, 30 day, your delta in the 90 days, see how they're doing, maybe studying up to the ITE, getting ready for that, number of questions, total time spent on site, in case you want to do, tell people, hey, you need to spend 2 hours on EM Coach, whatever parts you like, but 2 hours a month or whatever you decide. You can make those default or you can do just one-time changes. We're going to save that as a one-time, and then we're going to close that. And notifications. Here is the especially cool part of what we've got going on with this table. So you'll see we already have one here. You can set a notification for any of the parameters that we have. You can do it for just one of the classes. You can do it for everybody. You can do it for an individual. So let's say, for example, that there are a few people on a remedial plan. Let's say demo is one he already has. Here we go. Phillips C. So let's say that if Phillips C has a mean score in the last 30 days of, I don't know, less than, let's say, 70, then we're going to highlight orange, and you can decide if you want an email sent to you, and voila, there we go. In the last 30 days, the mean score for Phillips C was 21%. And so you can easily peruse through your table and see who's not meeting the various goals that you have for them, whether it be by time or number of questions, etc. You can also do it for the entire class. So if you just want to flag that maybe any of your PGY1s, for example, who have scored less than, academic year to date, we'll say less than 70. Now you can see maybe people who are starting to fall out from where you'd expect them to be. And you can get to the entire class if you want. You can be emailed when that happens. So here we go. Demo D is meeting 2 of those notifications. You can hover over and see exactly what it is. Now, let's say that Demo D has been doing poorly for a while. You can see that he's already tagged here, pinned. And so if we collapse over here, PGY1 class, PGY2, the people we're focusing on stick with that pin. And that way when you log in, you can focus on just those few folks who really need your attention. Let's open this back up though. Let's say, for example, you want a custom flag. This is, for example, an Outlook or whatever, if you want to have custom colors for whatever you have in mind. Maybe someone has not taken their ITE yet, or someone is going to be leaving on some sort of personal leave. You can make these colors mean whatever you want to yourself. This is your totally customizable area for individuals. Let's say that we've seen that Demo D has an 18% on the year to date, and it looks like in the last 30 days has done no questions and has not spent any time on the site. So we can email Demo D right from here and say, hey, what's going on? Once we have emailed Demo D, say, hey, is everything okay? Checking in on them. We'll see as well that Demo D has not turned in 13 assignments, 13 late assignments. So we can jump in there and we can either send a reminder, and that's easy to do. You have to do with the clicks, or let's say it's a really old one, we can undo our alerts and basically forgive those assignments. So we go from 13 down to 11, and it's easy to send that reminder. We just did that. Let's say that, look, Demo D hasn't done anything the last 30 days. We want to create an assignment. No problem. Click on the create, and you're automatically going to pull up an assignment for Demo. You can decide what you want to have him do. All the way down, you can apply this to everybody, all the various assignments, and you can divide this up however you like. That is the Performance by Learner table. Big addition. We're excited to see that roll out. The other thing that I want to point out, I'm going to go to the Learner home here just briefly so everybody knows, faculty and such, that you can now see the probability of passing. So on the analytics page, We haven't done enough on this particular practice account, but up in here on the analytics page, your residents can see their probability of passing, which has been very, very popular. And the other thing I want to point out is that all of assignments are now available on mobile. So if you make any kind of assignment, including with a textbook, with lectures, whatever, all that is available to your residents and your coachship students on mobile devices. So let's go back to, for those who have not been using EM Coach yet or are curious what else they can do with it, on your home page, you have your active group assignments, allows for some just-in-time teaching here, and your program statistics, which we've already gone over. You can immediately make an assignment by clicking on the coach here if you like. And you can make a group assignment, individual assignment. Let's say you have a study group. Maybe there are 3 or 4 of your interns who you're pulling aside for some specific intervention. You can click those that you want, and the assignment will go to those individuals. You select when you want it to start, when you want to finish it, and then here are the 3 routes that EM Coach allows. There's the AI route, where it will look at the weakest areas, provide spaced repetition, and deliver a series of questions, textbook, and lecture components to it, throwing in didactics along with that item recall that is very, very effective. And then the other route is we're coordinated with foundations. So the pre-reading and the pre-watching assignments in order to do those discussions are all fit inside of EM Coach. So here's F1, we'll say. GI1, if you click next, the questions, the textbook, the lectures, all of that are packaged together. And the beauty of this is that you can see who has actually done the assignment and how long they've spent on it. And I've heard from a lot of PDs that their discussions are so much better after switching to using the EM Coach didactic material and questions prior to those discussions, because the residents know that the faculty can see how involved they've been, how good they've been at doing their pre-reading before coming to the Zoom session, as it were now, or the in-person discussions. So you can use that as an alternative, just like various alternatives that Foundations offers to prepare for those conversations. And I'll show what that looks like in just a second. And then the other option is a custom build. And that's where, let's say what we've shown so far doesn't quite meet your fancy. You can click on custom build, and you can do any combination you want of questions, textbook, lectures. You can only do questions, you can only do textbook, whatever you like. You can pick what question type, not previously assigned, the age group. Let's say you have a pediatrics unit that you're working on. You can make them timed or untimed, and this is pretty standard. What you can also do is see, let's say for example, not previously assigned. See, we've cut down now, so 4 of the OB-GYN infections section have not been assigned, so we'll pick a couple of those. And you'll see on the right-hand corner here that it's kind of looking like a checkout box. So here's OB-GYN, the sections infections, and we're doing 2 questions. So let's say we also go to textbook, OB-GYN, and infections, we're going to check that. And so you can see for each section, all the various areas that you are creating a little bit of a curriculum for within that section and within that particular chapter. And then you can change the name if you like, and you can assign it. Now, once you've made an assignment, you're going to want to keep track of how people are doing. Now, note that there's a difference here, group and individual, so you can toggle between these. So let's say for a group assignment, you can see that 17% here have actually done the assignment. You can see which of your residents or students have not done it yet. You can send a reminder email, boom, done, 1 click. You can view the questions that you assigned them, particularly helpful for just-in-time teaching. You can see how everybody answered. You can go over those questions. All of our media items you can expand and blow up so that you can talk about them, and you can go back over it. So those are the major features of EM Coach, particularly the 3 different assignment methods. The AI, the foundations coordination that we have really makes it easy for you, and the custom build. One thing I didn't mention, let me go back to looking at the assignments. So after assignment's done, actually even during it, but it's particularly relevant after assignment is complete. So here are the closed assignments. You can download your stats. You can see all this information about what they did. So this is the overview, but if you download your assignment summary, then you can also take a look at exactly how long everybody spent on it. And my Excel is going to take a while to open up here, but I'll show you if you really want to get into the weeds, it's easy to do. And that's the component where, in particular, you can ensure that people are doing their assignments and keeping up with what you want. Or you can, of course, go to the table that we have now for you, so you can see if over the course of the last 30 days, they've been doing what you want them to. So this is Andrew Phillips from EM Coach. Thank you for using EM Coach and for allowing us the opportunity to share in the education of your residents and your students.